Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of a film that's received incredible hype. A lot of people have been saying that this has revived the American horror genre and that it's back on its feet. So this is a shaky cam kind of film. It's found footage. So if that's not your cup of tea, then I would say stay away from this review. But personally, I really like these kinds of films, and I think that if it's done well, it can be genuinely scary. So I went into this one with massive expectations, and I know that's a recipe for disaster. But based on the fact that a lot of people have been giving it rave reviews, I thought, it's too good to pass up the opportunity to have a look at it. So I finally looked at it, and now I'll be sharing my views. This is an anthology of films, so there's five tales that are not connected to each other, but basically there's just one after the other of scariness. So multiple directors. The directors of this film are Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, David Bruckner, Tyler Gillette, Justin Martinez, Glenn McQuaid, Radio Silence, Joe Swanberg, Chad Vivella, Ty West, and Adam Wingard. Now, the only director I am familiar with out of this group is Ty West. He directed The House of the Devil and The Innkeepers. So if you like him, you should find this one interesting. I believe that he directed the second segment. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, this film is called VHS. Now, VHS, as I said, it's five tales, but it starts off with a group of friends who break into this house. Now, their objective is to steal a VHS tape. So they get inside the house, they realise that no one's there, and they find a dead body, a man who has died on his chair. And in front of him is quite a few TVs with a lot of VHS tapes around. So they don't know which one to steal, so they decide to watch a few of them to see what they are. And this is where the anthology starts. Now, the first story centres around a group of friends. There's three males who pick up two females and take them back to their hotel room, and things go from bad to worse for them there. The second segment follows a couple who are going on a road trip, and they run into some weird problems at this motel. The third segment takes place with four friends who are going to a retreat in the lake. The fourth segment surrounds a chat session on Skype, and then the fifth segment, it takes place in a house that is the destination for a Halloween party, but no one's there. So these friends are walking through the house, and then once again, strange things happen. And all of these movies are tied in together. As I said, they don't really have anything in common except for the fact that they're all caught on VHS that is located inside this house. And then as each segment finishes and before the next one starts, you get a little bit more insight into what's going on inside this house. So that's basically a synopsis. It's, I'm not going to give anything on these these little segments. They're very short, and they'd be very easy to give away. So what I'm going to tell you is that there is a lot of scares and a lot of blood and gore. So if you want to know how the movie unfolds, please go out there, check it out yourself. As I said, a lot of hype surrounding it, so I don't want to ruin the experience for you. So if that sounds like your kind of thing and you like your found footage films, then hopefully I've done a good enough job with the synopsis. Now my thoughts on the film. As I said, an incredibly hyped up film. A lot of people saying that this is one of the scariest movies made, and a lot of people, that's used for marketing gimmicks, and a lot of people will get this film based on the fact that it's been said to be a scary film. And obviously, that not every film that says that is obviously going to be like that, but it wins by making you go and buy it. And fortunately, I didn't buy it. But I was enticed because of what it said. So going into it, I was expecting something very scary, very gory. Very gory is what I got. Some of the gore in the film is actually done very, very well, especially in the first and the second segment. The segment in the forest was 50-50. But the more notable gore scenes are in the first and second segment, and that's where I believe the strongest part of the film is. In the first segment, I thought it was very good, created a very tense mood, and it was a genuine horror experience. The second one was more of an Alfred Hitchcock style of film. It was gory at the end, but it was a lot of suspenseful build-up. You didn't know what was going to happen. The third segment was an utter embarrassment to the horror genre. I thought that was absolutely pathetic. There were a few good gore scenes, but it was horrendous. The fourth one was equally as bad. It was boring, and I thought the twist was just crap. And then the fifth one, it started off well, but it butchered itself by the time it got to about halfway through. So, yeah, I mean, this is an incredibly overrated film. I do not buy into the fact that this is one of the best horror movies in recent years. I felt that the movie was recycled garbage. If you've seen Paranormal Activity, if you've seen The Tunnel, if you've seen Blair Witch Project, this is nothing you haven't seen before. They've just added a little bit more gore, But that, apart from that, there's a little bit of nudity as well. But apart from that, it's not much else. It's kind of teenage sort of horror, that it's going to appeal to teenagers because they show boobs and they show a lot of gore. And that to me is not real horror. That to me is just lazy horror, and that's what the whole film is about. After the first one, it just goes rapidly downhill, and it just doesn't recover itself, which was a great disappointment because I was expecting so much more. Now, the character is extremely annoying in every single one of these segments, barring the segment with the Skype. I actually felt sorry for the girl who was in the Skype chat, but apart from that, all the other characters were just really annoying, and I wanted to see them get killed, so that took a lot of the scary impact away from me. The scares were very cheap, very predictable. As I said, if you're a fan of found footage films, you'll know where every twist is going to come. And so I just couldn't help but feel that this movie was very lazy. It's an anthology, so that's where I am going to say it's different. But that's pretty much the only difference in the movie, is that 5 collective stories that don't really relate to each other, but it's just a tale of horror, just like Tales from the Crypt. If you like that kind of stuff, I like anthologies when they're well done. Unfortunately, this movie is not well done. It's just not that scary. It is gory. I really like the gore in the movie. There were a few tense moments in the first and second segment, but yeah, it just becomes a complete joke by the end of it. And yeah, I mean, this is not coming recommended from me. It's just really cheap and lazy, and I'm not buying into it. This one really disappointed. I'm only giving it 1 star. I know a lot of people might be confused with that because a lot of people seem to like this movie, but personally for me, I think it's not a step forward for American horror. It's just a big step backwards. And if this is your kind of thing, you don't mind, kind of no-brain horror, then by all means go out there and get it. But if you don't like movies like Paranormal Activity, I would say stay well away from it, because it's not as scary as Paranormal Activity, and it's not as well made. Really, really disappointing. So, yeah, definitely not coming recommended. I feel that it's one of the most overrated films that I have seen in a very, very long time. So that's my review of VHS. Unfortunately, I'm not sharing the love. But if you liked it, each to their own. If you want to disagree with my thoughts, then please feel free to drop a comment. I'm not going to tell you that you're an idiot, as I said in my last review. Each to their own. Everyone's got their taste. But I'm not afraid to show what I really feel. And what I really felt is that this movie is rubbish. I'm sorry to say it, but that's the truth. So that's my review of VHS. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.